this tutorial, I will be showing you how to build a virtual classroom in Keynote. The first thing you want to do is open up Keynote on your MacBook. Once you have it open, you will be given the option to choose your theme. You will be choosing either the black basic or the white basic themes, but please make sure that you have changed the size from the drop down over here from standard to wide so that you do have a little bit more space to work with. I'm going to go ahead and choose black, double click, and then we do want to select and delete all of our text boxes. If there is one of these menus open, make sure you click on it to close that menu. And then we're going to change our zoom at 50% so that we can see the boundaries of our slide. From here, our next step is to go out to Google. And we are going to be looking for items that we can add to build our classroom. The first thing we're going to do is look for a wall. So from Google, we're going to type in wall background. And we can also include the letters P and G behind it. Including those letters in any kind of image search is going to be beneficial because it will give you transparent background images only for the most part. Sometimes it's a little off, but for the most part, when you add PNG to any kind of image search, it will give you images with transparent backgrounds. So we're going to go ahead and run our search. Remember that it's going to search everywhere first, so click over to images. And then something that I like to do is go over to Tools, go under Usage Rights, and change it to Labeled for Reuse. This will eliminate a lot of images that are copyrighted, and it will also eliminate a lot of the images that have some sort of watermark across them. So we don't want to have any of that included in our classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this white brick background. Whenever you click, it's going to give you a preview on the side first. And you have two options from here. So you can right click on your image and you can do Save Image As, and it will allow you to choose where on your computer you want to send it. I already have a folder called Virtual Classroom Images, so I can always rename this as White Brick Wall and save it to that folder. Or I can right click and do copy image. So from here, I would just go back to my Keynote and I would do either right click to paste or use my shortcuts, Command V to paste also, and then just position my wall so that it covers the space I need. So this one is a little bit large because the dimensions, so I might need to readjust it. It doesn't have to go all the way down to the bottom. I'm just going to move it up a little bit so you can kind of see where the bottom is here so we can add our floor. So we have our wall up now. Next, I can come back, I can do another search, and this time I'm looking for a wood floor. So again, these are the ones that come up. It did keep my parameters to search only for labeled for reuse images, and I can use any of the ones that I see here. The other thing I can do is I do use a resource called SubPNG. And this is a free website where you can download transparent images. Does not require you to have an account, a username, password, anything like that. So I can search here for wood floors. And it will also give me some options here. Oh, let's try that one more time. There we go, wood floors. And so I have this wood background. That one looks a little bit more like tile, and I've got this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use this gray background wood floor. So you would select it by clicking. It will open up on a brand new page, and you're going to see a download button. So you'll click on that download button. It's going to ask you to confirm that you're not a robot. and then you'll click on free download. This download is going to go straight to your downloads folder if that's how your computer is set up. So remember, your downloads is in your Finder. So if I open up my Finder, right now I'm in my virtual classroom images, and this is where I want to send that picture. What I like to do if I need to move anything from my downloads to another folder is when I have my Finder open, I will go to downloads and right click and do open in new tab. So now I have both of my folders available. Here's the floor that I just downloaded, and I can click and drag it over to my other folders. So now that floor is in this space. Okay, so I have a couple of items that I've already added in here. There's my floor. And so then when I go back to my Keynote, I can go to Media, choose, and then I need to go back into my virtual classroom images. Here is my floor. I've got a couple of floors. Let's do this one. So here's my floor. And then again, I would just want to make sure that I position it so that it covers the space that I need covered. So if I want it a little bit larger, I can always expand that more. The other thing that you can do to make sure that it looks the way you want it, because you are seeing where it extends from the boundaries of the slide, remember you have your thumbnail view over on the left, and you can hover on the line between your workspace and the thumbnail, make it just a little bit larger so that you can see what that space looks like. So from here, we would be building out the rest of our classroom. We can include projector screens, tables, desks, and then of course we want to include our Bitmoji in this space. So I'm going to walk you through adding a couple of images. Again, we're going to practice using Instant Alpha to remove a background in case you do want to grab an image that is not a PNG. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's say that I want a chair. And let's grab, this chair right here, the outdoor chair. And this one does have a transparent background. Whenever you see these little checkered squares, it means it's transparent. So let's do one that's not. We want to grab one that is not transparent. Let's try this rolling chair. There we go. So this one does have a white background, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to remove that white background. So I'm just going to do a right click and copy the image, come back over to my classroom and paste. So there's my chair. Make it just a little bit larger so I can work with it. And then I can always reduce the size here in a little bit. So select the chair, make sure you see the little corners, and then you're going to go to Format and then to Image. And under Image, you will see Instant Alpha as an option. Go ahead and select it. And then you'll get like this little targeted area. You'll click, and you can do this in segments, or you can start pulling out and see if it will select just your white. If it doesn't, then just get that one little piece and work your way around to delete all your white. So all my white is gone. I can click on Done, and then I can go through, make it a little bit smaller, and decide where I want that chair located in my classroom. And if it's not facing the direction that I want it, so right now it's facing to the right, I want it facing to the left. I can still go under my format and go to Arrange and do a horizontal flip. So now I can move my chair to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to add a few other things to my classroom, and then we'll come back and add our Bitmoji. Okay, so now you can see that I've added a few items to my classroom, and you're going to notice that my chair is kind of hidden behind this desk area that I've added to my class. So one thing that you can do and you want to be aware of is positioning items with a forward and back like you would see in real life. So right now this chair is partially out in front and partially hidden behind this desk. We want to make sure our chair is in front of it. So we want to select it. And again, I still have my formatting open and I have my arrange tab selected. And you'll see I have back, front, backward, forward here. So I want to click on forward. And as soon as I do that, you can see that my chair is now in front of my desk. So let's say that I position it right here, but you're going to see that it is partially behind this rug now too. So I want to click on forward just one more time, and then it will look like it's in front of the rug. So that is how you can position the items in your classroom to give it a foreground background look and to make sure that things aren't hidden behind that you don't want to have hidden behind. So there's my chair. The last thing we're going to do is we are going to grab a Bitmoji, add ourselves to our virtual classroom. So from here, you should have, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave this Google search open, but we are looking up here at our Bitmoji extension. So adding your Bitmoji extension, I do have another video that's available for you to watch to do that, but you do want to add the Bitmoji extension to either Chrome or Microsoft Edge so that you can easily access those Bitmojis and you're not having to email them to yourself, airdrop them from your phone to your laptop. So from here, I'll go up to my Bitmoji extension. This is the easiest way for me to access my Bitmojis from my browser. I can click on it, and I'm looking for full body Bitmojis. So I'm going to type in the word pose, P-O-S-E, and it is going to give me some matches that are full body. So this is going to be the one I want to use. So I can right click, do a save image as, and I can always save it to my folder where I've been putting items. So I'm going to save it there. Or I can right click and do copy image like I was doing with some of my other items. So I can do Control V, and there's my Bitmoji. So she's a little small. So just drag it out, make it large enough. And remember, if you have other items to add, so let's say I wanted to add a table in front, just make sure that you use your backward forward arrangement so that you can get it looking just right. And don't forget that if it's not facing the right direction, you can also use that horizontal flip. So if you wanted to, you could do that as well. This one does look a little funny that way. This one looks more natural to the side. Let's move her back. Okay, and then just make sure you check out what it looks like up here in your preview. So you can see I've got a little bit of black over here on the side. That means that I accidentally shifted my background over. There we go. So that does look a little bit better. And you can add as much as you want to your classroom. You can add as little as you want to your classroom. You can also include links and things like that. The last thing I do want to show you, just for the basics, is to make sure you lock your items in place. So my background was not locked, so that's how it accidentally got moved. So as long as I select it, you can see again that there's these little borders around. I can click on it, and under my arrange, I can choose lock. And then that puts a little X on my corners so that if I click, it will not let me move that background. Same thing, I can do that with the floor. I can also hold down the shift and select multiple items. And if I click on multiple items, I can group them and I can lock them. So again, I cannot accidentally move them out of place. So if I know my background and my foreground, my floor, and my wall are already set, I can lock those, but then I can leave my Bitmoji open, my screen. Anything else that I might want to still shuffle around, I can leave those unlocked so I can move them around. There are many other ways to personalize your virtual classroom. Please contact your instructional technology specialist or be on the lookout for more advanced resources.